April 26, 2026. This is the fourth grade edition. At this point in time, I'm 10 years old. And I'm in the fourth grade, as I said, and it's 1970. So before I talk about the fourth grade and the white kids, if you want to stroll past this quick conversation, when you see this die-cast car, you can stop there. That's when I'll start talking about fourth grade. So I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter. We April is a beautiful time, as we know. So I'm not gonna waste you guys' time with the pleasantries. I want to talk about real quick how we all are connected. Last July, uh, Wendy and I had a young man here to talk about finances, and his name is Fitz McMurray. And Fitz was a young white guy, and he came in, and I know he was a bit apprehensive because, I'm a 65 year old black man that I'm sure he hasn't had a lot of conversations with, and coming into a person's home is always can be questionable how it may turn out. But anyway, he left happy and end up having a real cool experience because I made sure he felt comfortable. But at first, we got off to a somewhat rocky start because I was asking him some questions. I don't know anything about finance. I just know how not to be poor in such disarray and despair. So was asking him questions, and he got a bit excited, and I let him know, dude, you can relax. I don't know anything about finance, so I'm just asking the questions. So after it's all said and done, Wendy and I will feel very comfortable about where we go from here. So everything went well. He got all the information, and because Doge got all of our information and did that information dump, um, the whole transaction the next day, the money was exactly where it was supposed to be. Apparently, it normally would take 3 weeks. So those of you that's getting you in your 60s and you getting your finance in order, so when you hit that retirement mark, the process can happen very fast. So in fact, if it doesn't happen fast, question who you dealing with, because all of our information is out there. He was shocked that the turnaround was so fast. So everything went well. And as far as trusting, I let the young man know that I don't trust anyone. So, and he understood that because it's just about information and making a confident decision whether you're gonna move forward and work with a person. So, nevertheless, everything went well, and we glad we went with Fitz McMurray. So I'll leave all his information at the end of this video, and you can pause it and get it. So, but as we go further in this video, remember the young man because he's gonna be connected. I'm gonna show you guys how in a 30-mile radius we're all connected, but as a human experience, we're all connected as human beings. I'm just saying. So at some point, later in life, I was married, and but she had a 5 year old has a at the time had a 5 year old niece, and I had a 5 year old niece. So we took the two girls to the circus, and it wasn't really into the circus. It was a somewhat a rainy day, so um, they wasn't really into the circus, so we left. So I think the most fun they had was the four of us holding hands running back to the car. So we took them out to eat some food, and so that was that. Like I said, one of the 5 year old little girls was Wendy's blood niece, and the other 5 year old girl was my blood niece. And so I never forgotten that, and we had an awesome time. So the young ladies now are grown women, married with husbands and children. So I don't normally, well, I don't ever do this, but I'm gonna do it this one time. Those of you know that I communicate with. I don't do it openly through Facebook where everyone can read what's being said, because I make these videos, but I'm a private person. I'm in my home. As far as I'm concerned, no one ever sees my videos. And my videos, I've said before, they're not to be liked or commented. Um, I'm talking about the experience of growing up in the '60s and going through the terrible school system, and we'll get through all of that. What my opinion, what it was all about, and and it may resonate with what's going on today with some persons with the school system. So my niece now, she's a grown woman, happily married, uh, children. So I seen her on Facebook cooking for her family, and I just love that about her. Anyone, uh, food, fast food, that stuff nasty. Always have been. I've never been into it, but it is what it is. But so I started seeing she cooking for her family, and I love that about her. So from time to time, I would always do a like or whatever about her food, because for me, it was just that she's showing Facebook that in the world, it takes some time, because that's all you have. Why go buy some dirty, nasty food? Because human beings were just dirty, nasty persons, so you can't really count on someone fixing you, preparing clean food. So that's neither here nor there until it is. So anyway, so this is me to Jessica Shante Wright, my niece. Say hello to your mom, and I'm still haunted from the abuse my half brother put you guys through. I'm so grateful and happy to see that you guys survived and thrived. The only thing I like about Facebook, and I did 10 hearts. So few hours later, y'all know how messenger stuff is. Oh, Uncle Willie, 5 hearts. You really touched me. Please don't be haunted. I don't want that for you. Having to grow up fast made me so much stronger and more capable as a woman. No one leaves this world untouched by something negative. But what we do with it, that is everything. God bless me with the family I always wanted. I want you to rest easy knowing that I have broken those generational curses. And then whatever that means with the two hands and then 4 hearts. Yeah, I'm an old dude, man. I love that. you support me and show love on Facebook because I thank you guys often. For me, you are still and always have been my Uncle Willie, who I love dearly. You and Aunt Wendy showed me from a young age what a happy couple should look like. But we're an old couple now. So I'm gonna show you what a young love looks like. Young love looks like this. Old love looks like this. Young love, old love. So I replied, thank you so much, so much. I see it. I believe it only good things about Facebook, and I will rest easy when I think of you and your family and your mom. Thank you for giving me needed rest. Love you for that. Yes, love being your uncle. One of the best things about my life. I'm just saying. So, whenever that took place, in sometime in January, I did let Wendy read it, and you know how you girls can be. So she probably cried a little because I don't know if her nieces ever said such pleasantry, but that's neither here nor there. But yes, I love that young lady. I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for her. So if you stroll forward, I have this car now. We're gonna go ahead and get into the fourth grade because that was very interesting and turned out to be very exciting. So at the fourth grade, end of third grade, some black kids were saying, they announced us because we had a nicer school than what the white kids had at Waco. Washington School was a much newer school. So there was some black kids was commenting that nobody better not call them the N word or whatever. I wasn't into any of that. I was just excited that these white kids gonna come to our school and we black kids don't have to just be us. I mean, the first grade, the most attractive, smart little black girl was Patricia Watson, that grew up to become Patricia Houston, Whitney Houston's sister-in-law. So she only spent a year at our school. So probably family members saw the brightness in her and probably whisk her away from the South. So, but I don't know. But I just remember she being the prettiest, smartest little black girl in the first grade, and then never saw her forever again. So I was very excited about the white kids. So the white kids showed up in the fourth grade in 1970, and I met this little white uh, boy named Josh Sism, and we just hit it off. And those white kids, they was nervous, and the black teachers made sure that those white kids got all the attention that they needed, and that was fine with me. They needed to be comfort. So my little friend and I, we really hit it off. I was just excited about life, meeting this little guy, and we both, did the best we could do in school. So we both had that in common, just trying to be the best kids and learn as much as we possibly could to please the teachers. So uh, he wanted to buy me some ice cream, and as our friendship grew, we didn't know anything about ice cream. So I guess that's something that came from their school. So he bought me ice cream and the most delicious thing. So every day, probably for 2 weeks, this white boy would buy me ice cream, and I said to him, "No, you don't have to do that, Josh." You know, but he insisted that he wanted me to have some ice cream. I'm his best friend. So I said, okay. So we would eat ice cream every day after school. So some time went past, and then so he says to me, his mom wanted to meet me, and I thought, okay, did I do something wrong? And he would let me know that he talked about me at home, and she just wanted to meet me. So one day after school, his mom was there, and so we went over to the ice cream area because that's what we do. So she says to me, "Oh, you the Willie that Josh comes home and talk about, won't stop talking about." And so I says to her, "Yeah, that's Josh. Josh, my friend. He's my best friend." So her eyes somewhat changed, and she said, "Asked me, did my parents not have any money to buy me ice cream?" And I says to her, "No, they never give me money to buy ice cream, but I don't have to eat ice cream." And so uh, she just had this real firm. You just know she didn't like me for that, and she didn't like me for being a little black boy. She was hoping that I was a little white boy. So that was that. So the next day, Josh apologized that his mom was being mean. He didn't know that's what she was going to do. She just wanted to meet me. And so I says to him, that's fine. How does your dad feel about me?" And he informed me that his dad didn't care. It's whatever his mom said to go. So a couple weeks went past, um, and he would just feel bad because he couldn't buy me ice cream, and so I didn't even go around the ice cream or whatever, but I would see from a distance, kids eating ice cream. He would eat ice cream, but so I didn't want him to be in front of him, and he feeling bad not enjoying his ice cream because he couldn't buy me ice cream because his mom didn't give him extra money. She informed the teacher that she only giving enough money for the week for he to have ice cream, and so that was a way they could control it. So apparently, so then he finally said, he couldn't be my friend anymore, and I was freaking crushed, man, because I had already planned that he and I gonna go through elementary, and we're gonna go all the way through the 12th grade as best friends, and we gonna be lifelong friends. So, and I asked him why we can't be friends, and his mom just didn't want me to be his friend, and uh, and 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 he don't like her for that, but he doesn't have a choice. So I guess she got with some other moms, and because I'm sure they all went to the same church, and informed them that their kids need not to be bonding with we black kids, and they need to really work and look out for one another. So he started hanging with this other group of white kids that he didn't hang out with in the beginning. So I would walk over to them because I know who they were, and they said that I couldn't be around them because they have a club. and I know what a club was, and so I says to him, okay, well, what does it take to be a part of y'all's club? And so they said 50 cents because they know I didn't have any money. So I asked my pop for 50 cents. He gave me, he asked me why. I said to him because these white kids has a friend club, and I have to pay 50 cents to be a part of it. So I had the 50 cents, and they said, no, it's $1. So I asked my mom for $1, and she said, why? I said, well, I thought it was 50 cents for me to be a part of their friend club, but it's actually it's $1. So she says to me, pointed out that their parents have informed them not to be my friend, that we can't be friends. And so I asked her why not, and she said, that they're afraid that they little girls or little boys would grow up and want to marry the out of their race. And I'm thinking, I just accepted it. So I spent the fourth grade alone. After that, what was it? So we just all black kids did the best we could do because I know what the white lady had worked with me previously to learn to read and count, and so I know those kids had a mom like Miss Barbara Poston at home, so they was excelling. So that was so we pretty much separated in the classroom. So the black kids we all sat at the back, and the white kids all sat at the front, and that was our introduction of integrating the school system. So I never saw Josh anymore because I block people out. I just move through the world and through the environment, and you exist, but I'm not even aware. So I got the love that I had for him out of my heart, and I just moved forward. So, but I'm gonna circle around real quick. So after high school and just being in high school, I would hear that he was good with golf, and so that was that. But so I knew who he was, but I didn't really see anybody in high school. That was only yeah. So we hadn't gotten to high school yet, so I'm not even gonna get too far into that. But my older brother had gotten a job at Winn Dixie, and I so when I got out of high school, I needed a job, and so he dropped me off somewhere in Cherryville, and I went and looking for a job, and so I walked to Winn Dixie, and because he was going to take me home on his lunch break, and he had already informed me that Josh was working at Winn Dixie. So we out of high school, so he's walking towards me, and so I was gonna, we out of high school, so I was just gonna, what's up, and but he was already jaded and tarnished, and he just kind of mumbled as if he didn't have, yeah. So from that point, I dismissed him totally. I dismissed everything about that human being because that was the opportunity for us to dap it up and just have a quick conversation about uh, life. But he wasn't into it, so I moved on. So later, Wendy informed me that Fitz, that was here, the financial advisor, was Josh's nephew, but he didn't grow up with them because eventually Josh's mom, well, Josh had a younger sister. So the younger sister grew up, life beat her up with substance. So she didn't get to raise Fitz. Fitz grew, the one lady that Fitz grew up. I found all this through Wendy. There's a young lady that works at her dental office. Is Fitz stepmom? Young, nice young lady, nice lady, and so Wendy pointed out to me that yes, Fitz is the nephew of Josh Sism and the son of Josh's sister that couldn't manage life because the substance that they bring into this country, it 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 would devour any race. And so I'm sorry that that happened to her, but as the type of mom that raised her, that probably would explain, because when you promote hate, hate has no boundaries. Where you pushing hate towards this little boy, it manifests itself and it's spewed over into your daughter, where she ended up hating herself, whatever her reason. But she lost the opportunity to raise a awesome young man. So that's how we all are connected in a 30-mile radius. The little boy that no longer wanted to be my friend, some 45 years later, 50 years later, yes, I was 10. So 55 years later, he's sitting at my kitchen table looking for me to make him feel comfortable enough while sitting at my kitchen table. And I didn't know who he was until maybe a week later, because we hit it off. We hit it off. So I couldn't hit it off with your uncle Fitz, but that was a cool day to hang out with you, young man. And I wish you well with the financial career that you setting forth for yourself, and the monthly fee that we help pay your salary. I'm cool with that, because you gotta help someone pay their salaries. Money not real, folk, but when it is, we all need it. I'm glad I met you, young man. So next month we'll be in the fifth grade, and we'll be going to the school that the white kids had always attended. So I just want to talk about some other stuff now. Um, Here in Gastonia, well, first of all, I'm going to give you a young man, a gentleman's name, Harvey Gantt. Harvey Gantt was the first black mayor in Charlotte, North Carolina. He was the first male student to graduate from Clemson in South Carolina. And he's an architect. Now, Mr. Harvey Gantt, from his architectural skills, he oversaw and designed both Friendship Missionary Churches on Beatties Ford Road. And the first church is still standing strong, beautiful. foundation perfect, and the new church is just magnificent, pristine, and no leaks. So had the system hired this man opposed to hiring these terrible builders and contractors, because he would have over and then they, when he was time for him to become governorship of North Carolina, they didn't give it to him. They pretended they supported him, but they didn't. So it was their huge loss, because had that man became governorship of North Carolina, the building, poor building that these substandard builders have put together would never have gotten passed, because he would have made sure that was one of the number one things that he would have made sure that was built proper, the structures. So how many structural damage buildings? The East Ridge Mall here in Gastonia, it's a freaking dump. Harvey Gantt could have been hired to build that place, and it would still be. It probably would still. It would look like South Park, but he didn't get to build South Park. So when Nordstrom showed up, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they will hire him. So he didn't get to construct Nordstrom at South Park. So when I was working at South Park, when Nordstrom's first opened, there was a freestanding hair salon right outside of Nordstrom's. That was big gates. Water was just gushing in when it rained. I'm standing there like, this freaking poor construction. That crap would never have flown or taken place. Friendship Missionary Church on Beatties Ford Road, neither one of those buildings have any water uh, leakage. I'm just saying, Mike. So Charlotte really, you lost an opportunity. Like you guys lose a lot of opportunities in not hiring the right person due to their color. So I just something that needs to be said. So maybe one day we'll get there. We shall see. I want to talk about one of my memories. It's crazy. I'm gonna say it was in '83. This old man Roberts, at this church I attended that my girlfriend attended, and all of her family. So once we became engaged, my wife's dad called me over to introduce me to this gentleman, and I know who the gentleman was. They called him Old Man Roberts. So I met the guy and shook his hand, hello. And so he proceeded to ask, who am I? And um, my wife's dad acknowledged who my parents are. So this old dude says, "Well, he ain't nobody." And I'm thinking, "Wow." So inside, I'm cursing this old dude out, but also I'm keeping my composure because I don't believe in doing that kind of stuff. You know, I can be irritated, pissed off like everybody else, but you're not gonna get that out of me. It's in me. I just deal with it different. So my thought process was, okay, if Mr. Ross asked him to come off this way to see if I'm gonna just straight out curse this man out, because had I did that, then I could have, in my thinking, would have shown that, yeah, I'm capable of treating your daughter the same way. So I don't do that anyway. So That's the reason it was handled in the manner that it was handled. So I'm gonna say some time passed, and my energy was really strong about how this man managed that. So we sitting in church, and the minister acknowledged that Old Man Roberts' home blew up. The furnace blew up. So my first thought was, um, he probably rigged that so it would blow up so he could remodel, remaintenance his home. Because people can be trifling. So they acknowledged that he didn't. No one was hurt, and matter of fact, no one was there. And so whenever Old Man Roberts, whenever he passed, I did not attend his funeral. And but at some point in life, I ended up doing his uh, granddaughter's hair as a hairdresser, and she was cool. We talked about Michael Jackson, but I would think about that sometimes, and so that's just a memory back from Waco, North Carolina. So with the violence that has taken place with those beautiful Jesus children, guns are not a problem in this country. Guns has never been a problem. People have always been the problem. People will continue to be the problem. But easy access to guns has always been a problem, and nothing's going to be done about it in my lifetime. Will continue to be a problem. But such a tragedy. And no one wants their heart to ache, but men, it happens. Relationships break up. It happens. And no matter how attractive the young lady you with, or the gentleman that you with, ladies, sometimes you just outgrow each other, or you become too much of a liability for one another. So for whatever reason, people relationships change. It's People deserve an opportunity to live, and to do that to eight beautiful souls, all of the Jesus that's in them, and Jesus is in all of us. We just have to choose to use the Jesus energy that's in us as easily as we can choose to use the bad energy, or use our energy in a bad way, in a dark way. That's that human choice. But that Jesus energy is always there. It's just a matter of whether you put Jesus in front of your obstacles. But if you don't, and you can still make good choices just as being as a good human being, that's fine. But when you make a choice to do things dark, that's your human right, and that's your choice. So what I don't understand, to do that kind of destruction and then run, why wouldn't you just sit in it? And when the authorities show up, if you're too cowardly to do what you did to those beautiful souls, just go ahead and let them do it. Why run? Why I don't understand a lot of things in life. I don't understand the human mind, the darkness, but I understand me. I would never do anything to hurt anybody, but I will defend myself or persons. I will do that, and the person that was supposed to defend those eight beautiful souls, so those persons that care so much about money or complaining about some just whatever bills. I mean, we all have them. Financial issues, we all have them. That 1% that don't, it's obvious. They just have so much darkness about them, that the madness that they do. I'm just saying. Uh, it's been a tough, hard week because we want to know and we need to know when things like that take place. So anyone that's going through something domestic, relationships change. It doesn't have to result to domestic violence. So when you irritated with young love or old love, just put Jesus in front of it. When you, it's okay to get pissed off, irritated about things. Just put Jesus in front of it and still be irritated and pissed off. But I bet you it hits different. I'm just saying. And I do strongly believe that young people are not the problem. They are the solution. They're the ones that has to change the world. The story I told you about the young gentleman that came to our home, the financial advisor. He's in his 30s. He's already changing the world with the racial. We old folk are the problem. All the generations before me that lived and created racism, and those that bought into it, my age group, that was brainwashed by your parents, we all have to die because you guys, you bought into it. You bought into it. So if you're teaching your children are not going to help change the world. We're one people. We're human beings. When enough of my generation die out, my son's generation will take over the world. And people that have birthdays in April, and especially people that have a birthday on Easter, I never thought about that. Person's born on Easter Sunday. So you have to have a exceptional celebration of your birthday. And I hope those that ate some coconut cake, I hope it tastes great. I ate some coconut cake, and it was delicious. So I'll see you guys May 26th, 2026. Spread some love. I love everybody. I love people I don't like. I love people that don't like me. If I bump into you, I'm gonna what's up you, and we're gonna have a friend moment. We're gonna have some likable moments, and then we're gonna go on in our lives. So bump into someone and have a likable moment. And those of you that have friends, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I don't ever get to see my friends, man. But one day, I'm just saying. I'll see you guys later.